Okay, so I want to talk to you about my theory of the dopamine slide. My idea. It's not a scientific theory, it's just an idea about life and self-improvement. So I will assume that you know my view, which is kind of the standard view about dopamine in the self-improvement space. And you need to know another thing, which is the idea of dopamine baseline. What does it mean? You can imagine that after 3 hours of video games, or 3 hours of edging, I don't know, watching porn for 3 hours without coming, whatever you want, coming at the end of the 3 hours, you can imagine in such a state, in such a mental state, studying is going to feel so boring. Taking a walk is going to feel so boring. And you can also imagine that if you wake up, you do nothing at all, and after 30 minutes you study, or after 30 minutes you go for a walk, that's going to feel a lot more engaging, a lot more satisfying, stimulating. It's going to feel better, okay? So what I think happens in this situation is that your dopamine baseline is here in the morning, but let's say you wake up and you start to scroll on Instagram, it goes up. Let's say you watch porn, it goes up. You play video games, it goes up. What happens is that specific activities, like watching porn, let's say this is the scale for dopamine. Watching porn is here. Using drugs is here. Watching TikTok is here. Studying is here. Walking is here. See, the activities have a specific dopamine level of stimulation. It goes person by person, but they are kind of fixed for the person at least. If an activity is here and your baseline is here, you're going to enjoy that activity. The higher the activity is above your baseline, the more stimulating it feels. The lower it is, the more boring it feels, the harder it feels. So what I'm trying to say here? Let's say that for some days you are very disciplined. You don't use your phone, you don't do any kind of bad habit / overstimulation. You will feel better. Your baseline is going to be lower every morning and stay low for the whole day. Studying is going to feel good. Speaking to a friend is going to feel amazing. What happens? Days pass by, and the benefits of our discipline start to come in subtler ways. It's not as evident as the first days. So you start being disciplined to reach happiness. You reach an okay level of happiness, and then the progress is much slower. You become happier in very slowly. Like it takes you 3 days of discipline to get the boost of happiness that it gives you the first 3 hours of the first day of discipline. You know what I mean? It's the law of diminishing returns. So what happens? You are in search of happiness. You are in control of your life. You have very good mental health. What happens? I speak personally. I start to think that maybe one joint of weed, maybe one masturbation with porn, or if somebody plays video games, 1 hour of video games, or 1 hour of TikTok, whatever. We start to feel that we can manage these things, that they are a part of life in the end. It's false. They are not. They are a part of contemporary life, which is horrible for our mental health. Anyway. We smoke. Our baseline dopamine level is way down below, and we smoke. What do you think it happens? It's going to be a great joint. It's going to be a great jerking off session. It's going to be a great video game session because your mind is not used anymore to that kind of stimulation. So it feels amazing. What happens? We start sliding down. You see what I mean? We climbed all this mountain with discipline, with willpower, in order to get in a better mental state, in order to have lower dopamine baseline. We climbed. Then our patience ran off. We needed happiness. We wanted happiness. We underestimated our enemy, the temptations. And they hit us strong because we were not prepared anymore for them. So if smoking gives me so much happiness when I'm at the top of the hill, why shouldn't I keep smoking and keep smoking and keep smoking? You see, I go down the slide. Once you're at the bottom of the hill, at the bottom of the slide, it's basically when you're smoking every day, multiple times a day. And at that point, smoking doesn't feel good anymore like it used to be. Like it used to feel when you were on the slide. Once you're at the bottom, weed is normality. Porn is normality. So it's the drive to do those things is less strong. But while you're on the slide, those things are not the normality for you. They actually make you happy and make you feel genuinely good. So what happens? In the last few days, I've been stuck in this point, in this loop, in this slide. I wake up at kind of the bottom, not really the bottom because I'm not smoking multiple times a day. But let's say I smoke in the night. I wake up with my dopamine baseline very high. My mood is not stable. My mental health is very low. I spend the whole day trying to better my mental health. I start to feel kinda okay. My dopamine baseline has been brought down. What do I do in the night? I get paid for my work. I use the fact that I lowered the baseline to raise it up again by smoking, which is here on the dopamine scale, you know. You raise it up again, you feel good because this feels good. When the dopamine goes up, it feels very good. When it's stuck, it doesn't feel great. When it goes down, it feels horrible. But when it goes up, you feel very good, which means that you're going down the slide. And then you have to pay this slide off. You have to climb the hill once again. And you can get kind of stuck in a loop. So what's the point here? We need to choose which sources of happiness we want in our life. It's not about happiness. It's not only about happiness, because once you're at the bottom, okay, the weed doesn't make you happy anymore. So searching for happiness in that moment while you're at the bottom means trying to live healthier. But once you live kind of healthy, then going for happiness means going for the weed. It's the things that will bring you happiness the most once you're not at the bottom, but you're kind of climbing, you know? We need to not go for happiness. We need to go for specific happiness sources that we know are not going down the slide, but are keeping you climbing the hill. We need to choose what to use in order to be happy, which is very, very difficult. If anybody has suggestions, ideas, tips for this problem, I would love to see it in the comment. And that's it. That's my theory of the slide. See you in the next video.